Hey guys, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Can you guys see my screen? Hear the music?
Yeah,
Is it too loud?
yeah, it's all good.
Cool.
Let me. Are you streaming on YouTube also?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, let me check YouTube if everything is fine there.
Hey Dave, how are you?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Sanai, are you feeling better, mate?
are you guys right?
How are you? Your mic's still a bit quiet.
You know what it is? It's not the mic, it's my voice.
Oh yeah, you're still feeling a bit sick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds it. How did this morning's stream go?
It was all right. I got somebody else to do it, but I was there. Nothing happened this morning anyway. It was just moving sideways.
Yeah. Alrighty, so yeah, gold did jack all, so didn't miss nothing. Just played the range, monthly level to monthly level, just got stuck inside of here. So I just think it's going to be more of the same till FOMC. If we get little fake outs, I might give it a little go, but I don't really want to play this range. I prefer currencies. I think price has ranged sufficiently for the London session that it's just exhausting all traders until we get that move around. From around now to around 11 o'clock, we might get a bit of a push leading into pre-New York. One of the clearer reads I have is in Euro Aussie. If we can get underneath this support here, this one, I know this is what Danny and Glenn are looking at. I think they're looking at taking a long, but I think if we can get underneath here, then I think this space, at least into this wick, if we've got a breaking underneath this wick, this is already the 50%. Hey Danny, this is already.
Hey, yeah.
That's already the 50%, more or less been taken. So if this is breaking this wick again, then it's taking the liquidity that was pulled inside this 1 hour candle. So then I think we can play down to the bottom to this little support area that's underneath. Oh, that's white.
And that'll dip into that H4 liquidity area as well a bit more. It's all H4 imbalance at the end of those weeks.
Yeah, right here.
But it's just so wicky.
Yeah. This is what happens after CPI. It's kind of just...
Yeah.
And London session's been pretty crappy. Most of last week as well. So it doesn't really surprise me that it's doing this. We'll just see if we see something, we'll execute on it. If we don't see anything, then I'm going to be pretty patient today. What annoyed me was pound US. I had this level up here for ages. Ages. This 124.3 area. And price, I was watching it and I sort of just got entranced by looking and saying like, gosh man, it just closed exactly at that. Like I haven't adjusted this black zone in a long time. And it pushed all the way up, got stuck, closed here, bearish candle, and then this sort of followed the same path as gold, how it just went straight up and then came down halfway. So pushing up and then, you know, gave some nice little shots, got stuck at the monthly level for a little bit, then we closed inside, gave the monthly level a little retest, and then we pushed down to the next monthly level, and then we just got stuck inside of this range. Starting to push up a little bit now. What was that, Glenn?
Pretty much all the majors have that same pattern.
Yeah, very similar because it's all USD based. But this level here, this grey zone, like keep your eyes pinned on it. If we go to the daily for now, it's only nice and it's quite thin here, but it's this one. And if we look across the board, it doesn't really look like much yet. But if we start to get the data from the first half of the year, then it is this line here. So see all this support on the daily level, and then a few wicks, and then we've got the resistance, and then we've got the support, we've got a little fake out. If we look at that on the 4 hour, I'll zoom out, it's this one This lower one. It's this one here. So you can see rejection.
You showed us this on one of the price action videos, I'm pretty sure.
Probably. It's been there for a long time. I think I even put it in the channel. It's that about my pound levels. So then when we get back across to it, what's this? Sell, buy, flatten. Never seen that before. Okay, anyway, so this level here, pushed up into it, gave a rejection, and then if you missed the initial push, I don't know how, unless you were in a buy trade already, there's no way you could have actually entered onto this. Because the whole thing yesterday, maybe it's just my terminal, but my whole terminal on MetaTrader just froze for like 4 or 5 seconds, and then it just this candle disappeared. It's like magic. Anyone that would have had like buy stops would have been slipped. You wouldn't have got the entry that you wanted. You could have held it because it did continue going up a long way, 160 pips basically, but trying to actually execute on that would have been pretty tough. The easiest way that when candles are in momentum, when they push up, is to just get that wick fill. You just need to see how far this pulls back. Sometimes it does a deep pullback, sometimes it pulls back 50%. Other times it just creates a little support and then goes up straight away. So I was looking at gold. I'll go to the 1 minute chart. Here's the 1 minute chart. So I missed this. Came in lower than expected, the inflation. So that led immediately to USD weakness. Missed the initial explosion because terminal froze. Plus, I don't trust the slippage in these market conditions right now. And then when it wicked up all the way here, easiest thing is to wait for a little pullback and then do the wick fill. Unfortunately, like I was waiting for a little bit deeper retest. Especially like I was kind of wanting to see the 1800 hit, which is this black line.
Oh, okay.
And then create like a little liquidity grab and then started pushing up. But then I was thinking, oh, you know, now I've kind of hesitated, so I've missed it. Then it eventually did that wick fill here. And then as it pushed up, made a new high. When I was looking to the left, I had a lot more space between this line, like this grey box across the board, and if I just squeeze the chart up a little bit, I've got my monthly level just up here, this black line. So I was thinking like, okay, well, we've closed above that area, and price has established itself saying, you know, it's fairly comfortable above this level. So most likely, it's not going to be a fake out. What it's going to do is give a bit of a retest, and if it gives me the price action I'm looking for, because this is now my zone of interest, we've got little doji and then we've got that liquidity grab. So that was a clear sign for me to enter into a buy and then target up to this area, 1826.8. But I had a sell limit thinking that, okay, if we can get to 1825.6, I'm going to put my entry in 1825.8 just in case we don't get a perfect hit. And then ride it back down to this key level. But price got about 10 pips away. I think it got as high as 1824.4. And that's where price started to stall. And then this candle pushed down and this one came back up. And I was like, oh, I think that's the end of the run. So that's where I did close some partials at this previous high. And then I closed full here. So not great risk reward because the size of these candles are so freaking big for a 1 minute candle, but that was the only trade I could actually comfortably see, and I had to wait over an hour after the initial CPI. So like, you know, we don't need to trade the news, we can always be patient and trade what we see. Wish I got these sells because that would have really just capitalized. This one was a much better risk reward. I was only looking for 20 pip risk, 25 pip risk. I had my stop loss around 1828. And then, but once price got here, I just cancelled that order. Then price went a lot further. Broke under the key level, under the monthly level, held into this little zone, which was a crossover here. And then we held it as resistance, came back down, previous Asian high, held as a little bit of support, and then we just couldn't really break above this zone. And then we've just been stuck between these two black lines. All the way, just doing nothing. Just stuck in the zone. Now here we are. So, gold, not much volume. I'm really probably not going to touch it today until at least FOMC. Safer play is trading the range. I wouldn't really anticipate breakouts unless I had something like, I can get rid of all this. I've already taken a screenshot.
What did KL stand for, Hayden?
Key level.
You had KL. Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. So, if I would assume that price is going to keep on traveling up for now until power comes in and says stuff. If it's going to fill this candle here, what I would want to see is price break underneath here. I would like to see a 15-minute bullish candle, something like that. And then I'd like to see price clearly breaking under there for me to think it's going to have a deeper push. And probably, maybe I'll just trade like for initially $5 level to $5 level. Ideally, I'd get it down to 1796, but I think 1800 would be quite problematic. So that's the plan.
It's taken so much to break above it.
Pardon?
It's taken heaps to break above 1800, so to push it back under again and stay under.
Yeah, I just think that would be a nice little number. Like if you got 1800, 10 pips above and 10 pips below, I think a lot of the time they could be algorithmic numbers that price is set at. Kind of like how this finished, more or less 10 pips under 1825. If we can get underneath here, then of course we can fill this actual total imbalance. But this area to here could be pretty tricky. Not something that I really want to. I just don't want gold to take my monies today. I'd rather just observe, and then if I've got a real clear read, if I see something like that under this level, I could take 50 pips out of the market. If we're breaking back above it, then I could see that. But what I'd want to see is the opposite. I want to see a 15-minute bearish little doji kind of candle, and then price come down, and then back up again, and then we've got fairly clean traffic up in here, at least from this 1815 to 1820. So something like that makes sense. Seems my screen is frozen on my on the stream. I'll just check that.
No. Nothing's frozen on my end. I can see everything you're doing.
Yeah, Zoom's alright.
Nothing's frozen on my end. I can see everything you're doing.
Yeah, Zoom's alright.
Whoa, echo.
Oh, that just echoed. Yeah.
Sorry.
That was.
I had it on. I brought up YouTube on it.
Trippy.
Yeah, it looks like the stream's frozen.